Thank you, John. I'm Holly Taylor. Thank you so much for welcoming me here today. And John talked a little bit about my work over the years with the Public Integrity Unit in Travis County. I want to start by talking a little bit about our work, my work, with the Conviction Integrity Unit in Travis County. And that's the part of our office that works to remedy wrongful convictions. So I've been practicing, I'm pretty much a career prosecutor. I've done this for over 20 years. And for most of my career, I have been working to keep our communities safe by putting dangerous criminals, murderers, rapists, child abusers in prison and working to keep them there. That's just the truth. But recently, for the last 4.5 years, I've been working with the Conviction Integrity Unit to investigate claims of wrongful conviction in our county. And one of the things that's hit me hard is through this thorough investigative process, doing additional DNA testing, interviewing witnesses, talking to scientific experts, we've discovered that several of our convictions do not have integrity. And what personally affected me is that 2 of those were convictions that I originally prosecuted. I worked to put those people in prison and then discovered that they were actually innocent. So obviously I've been working very hard to make those cases right. But one of the things that I discovered through this process is that the Court of Criminal Appeals, which makes the ultimate decisions in these cases, the court that I'm running for, does not always make what I believe to be the right decisions in these cases. I believe it's critical that we have fair and independent judges on our high courts who work to follow the rule of law and to uphold the Constitution. And they do that independent of any outside influence. And frankly, it's an increasingly partisan and even dangerous environment for our judges today. And Chief Justice Byrne, who's here today, can probably tell you about that. So it's really critical that we have people that have the courage to stand up in that environment. I want to talk to you a little bit more about why it is absolutely critical that we take action right now to save our Texas courts. So you've probably heard that at the federal level, the U.S. Supreme Court has been deciding these cases on its shadow docket and overturning the rulings of these federal district judges who are bold enough to block Donald Trump's many extreme executive orders. And many people seem to think that the situation is hopeless. But in fact, we have our Texas appellate courts, like the Third Court of Appeals, and like our 2 high courts, the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals. And their decisions are absolutely critical, especially in cases where they are interpreting our Texas Constitution. So there's still hope. Those 2 Supreme Courts, the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals, each have 9 judges. And they're all Republicans, and they have been for over 30 years, just like every other statewide office. And yet, these courts are under attack. Can I see a quick show of hands? Who here thinks that Ken Paxton should have the authority to prosecute criminal election fraud across this state? That's kind of what I thought, but that's exactly what he tried to do in 2021. But 8 of the 9 Republican judges on the Court of Criminal Appeals interpreting our Texas Constitution decided that he did not have that authority. Not surprisingly, he was not happy about that. And he went on social media and Tucker Carlson, and he leveraged PAC dollars to defeat the 3 conservative conservative Republicans who were on the ballot in 2024 in the Republican primary, and the 3 of us in the general election, and those 3 seats they have. There are 3 more seats from this court of 9, which are on the ballot in 2026. Imagine a world in which Democrats have their first statewide victory in 30 years in 2026, but the results are overturned by our high courts due to allegations of voter fraud. Listen, MAGA forces have understood the importance of Texas appellate courts and spent millions to get their candidates on these courts for many years. It's time that Texas Democrats realize that our highest courts are critical to ensuring a fair and independent justice system in Texas that protects all of our rights and freedoms. Here's the good news. There is hope. There are an unprecedented 10 statewide judicial seats that are going to be on the ballot in 2026. That's in part because they created a new 15th Court of Appeals with 3 seats with judges appointed by Governor Abbott. But there's 10 positions that if qualified Democratic candidates win in those races in 2026, we could stop the MAGA takeover of our Texas courts. And I think this is something we really have to commit ourselves to do. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm Holly Taylor, and I'm running for the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals.